Hey everyone, this is Caroline. Welcome to my YouTube Live, also on Facebook. First of all, how do you like my new poster? The movie Superhuman will be out in July, July 14th. Mark your calendar. It will be available worldwide. So if you have not purchased your ticket, make sure you go do that. Superhumanfilm.com. You can pre-order. Yeah, let me know how you like it. Let me see. Should I be sitting right in the middle? It's kind of hard to manage, but anyway, yeah. So very excited about this. Very timely because we really need tools and empowerment and examples of how we could use our mind, our consciousness to feel better, to empower ourselves. Also, let me know, I have a new setup. I'm like, since we're going to be confined probably for several more months, I thought I would set up a little like a studio situation here. So anyway, trying to do the best I can to make it a little bit more exciting, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I also have classes. When you go to superhumanfilm.com, go to workshops, you can also see all the classes. We're working on the time. It's kind of difficult to have a time that works for, across the globe. We have mostly people in the US and Europe. So anyway, just be patient with us. And also these classes, you get to keep the archives. So even if you miss a live class, you can listen to it afterwards. Okay. So what we're going to do today, kind of pretty much the same. If you have questions, start by writing your questions down. And we'll see what we can do to address your questions. But basically, we know what's happening. It's still more of the same madness. The world is in chaos. And actually, to me, the world has always been in chaos, except the difference is that now it's in chaos, obviously. So kind of like, we thought the healthcare system was kind of working. We thought, the political system, we never thought that was working. But like all of these systems and institutions were really, really dysfunctional, not functioning, completely corrupt. And so, but now it's kind of like it's so in our face. So all of that chaos to me was already existing. It was just kind of a little bit in the background. And now it's like we can't keep it in the background. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be changed. So this whole thing with the race, that whole situation that happened with this individual that triggered this whole racism, police versus us. Again, to me, it's not just about the race. Of course, that's a huge component, but it's about the rage that we all have been feeling. It's been kind of boiling and brewing, underneath that surface. And this event, this incident kind of just exploded, let this whole rage, this kind of wanting to just scream at the unfairness of the system. And so this is a great opportunity to express that rage. Of course, sometimes it's a little bit too much, turning into violence, but still it is kind of a good healing for the soul on that level. And also now they're already, which we already knew, they're already telling us that they're coming with this new COVID wave. So they're kind of already preparing us for more confinement, more fear, which we already knew that was going to happen. And so as you can see, this is a story that is not going to end in the sense that, oh, okay, this was just one crisis and we're going back to normal. No such thing. Get it out of your head. There's no back to normal, because it's already, the damage has already been done. You know, the pus is already out. You can't just put it back in the hole in the wound and pretend it didn't exist. And so because of that, if anything, we have to keep pushing more of that pus. It sounds kind of gross, but it is kind of like that, in order for the wound to heal once and for all. And so because of that, think about how to continue to maneuver, to manage your life under these circumstances. And so I gave many tools last time. You know, go back, for those who are new, go back to the previous talks, just to get kind of a sense of what you could be doing moving forward, how you could be redesigning, configuring your human life, your physical life moving forward. Every part of your human journey has to change, has to adapt to this new future, okay? And to me, as I'm looking at all this, another kind of validation that this is something very different is that notice the reaction worldwide. So even though, you know, this incident happened, the George Floyd incident happened in the US, but yet we have reactions across the globe, not just reactions like comments, but we also have police, you know, kind of going on strikes or protesting in France, in the UK, but nothing actually happened there. So, and probably also other countries. So what this tells me is that this is a common denominator worldwide. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about race, it's about injustice. It's about this underlying root cause of wanting to stop this madness. And so that is the reason why we see reactions worldwide, even though certain things did not happen in other countries. To me, this is also consistent what we talked about with the COVID-19 reaction, how all around the world, all of a sudden, everybody does the same thing. It's bizarre, don't you think? So that's why I feel like, you know, in terms of manipulation, in terms of feeding us information, it is, what is different now is that it's becoming worldwide. It's not like this country and then that country and then that country, and then we kind of figure out the common denominator. Now we see, it's in our face, it's so bluntly in our face, the common denominator. This is happening, this manipulation, this explosion is definitely happening worldwide. So of course, there's, you know, the AI we talked about, 5G, all kinds of stuff that is triggering that, you know, unanimous, if you will, response worldwide. This is more of a validation that this time is very, very different on planet Earth, okay? I'm gonna stop for a second. I have good news, but just for a second to see if there are any questions. By the way, Michael's with me. Yay, hey Michael.
Hi Caroline, how's everybody doing in the chat? Thanks again for watching with us all around the place.
Awesome, we have people from all over as always. So just before I continue, because this is important, even though the story is pretty much the same and is unfolding, but there's like new components that keep creeping up. So let's see if there are any specific questions, and then I'll keep going.
We do. We have several questions already lined up. The first one I'm going to ask for someone that was watching me live on Facebook. Judy's asking you, my mind channels, it feels like scrambled eggs sometimes when I go to certain places, and I have to leave there within minutes. Do you have any advice on this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we mentioned this also last time, because the chaos outside, the collective chaos, is affecting us. We don't have to be in the middle of a protest to feel that chaos within our body and within our mind. And so right now it is difficult. It is much harder to maintain those channels and this connection. You just have to just relax and do the best you can, unfortunately, and kind of wait for a little bit of a gap, you know, in the collective, and for you to pierce through. So what I'm saying is this is very normal. Don't be alarmed. Also, sometimes do you feel like you have no control over your emotions? It's almost like all of a sudden you're just overwhelmed by this feeling of sadness or depression. In fact, I have some friends here who are telling me, especially about younger people, starting to feel very depressed, even suicidal, I must say, because they're sensing this collective, and it goes to their head, and they go, oh my God, like what's my future going to look like? These are kids out of college. These are younger, more kind of folks that are thinking about their future, their careers. They don't see any of that happening right now. So my point is, those feelings that you're having, you cannot connect. It's chaos in your head. Everybody is sensing. You don't have to be super psychic or sensitive to feel that energetically. And so it is affecting us, especially the mind channel, but also emotionally. Let me know if you guys can also relate to that, because this is such an important topic. I feel like emotions rule this planet. I feel like it really controls everything. It controls politics. Our politicians react to comments and things because of their emotion. Their ego is bruised. Same with healthcare. Same with, I know better. No, you said this wrong. All of this is coming from ego and emotions. I mean, literally, we are controlled by emotions, and we create our reality. We make decisions based on this emotion, which is wrong. These emotions should be a guidance system for us to figure out what is being triggered so that we make the right decision, not based on the emotion. So for example, we feel anger. So instead of feeling rage and anger and acting on it, going out and killing or doing some violent things, crimes, it's for us to go to feel it. I'm not saying to suppress it, to feel this rage, feel these emotions and go, wow, there's so much there. Is it mine? Is it the collective? Doesn't matter. It's for me to process it. Now, how can I change this rage into something extremely creative? Maybe I can gather all the people who are feeling this rage and put this powerful energy into something very, very creative and beautiful. See, that the emotions are supposed to be guiding us to the trigger so that we can heal the trigger and make a decision that transcends that instinct of acting on it. But of course, that's not how it works down here on planet Earth, and we can see, and the chaos comes from that. Okay? Anything else? Next question.
There is, yeah, absolutely. Do you think that there's a chance that everything that's happening because of the virus, the masks, the plastic screens and everything, do you think that there's a chance that will go away, or do you feel like that's here to stay?
That is definitely here to stay. In fact, they're telling us already that, the next wave is coming. And because we let you out of your house, then we have to put you back because being in crowds, that triggers even more sickness. They already are giving us all the numbers, which, by the way, they're also wrong numbers, because some other sources tell us, oh, no, we've been counting the tests twice. Okay, so which do you believe? They're saying there's 500,000 deaths, but then another research, very legitimate research tells us, oh yeah, that's because we counted the people who did the blood test and who did the saliva as 2 tests, or that were retested as 2 different people. Well, that's not accurate. So how do you trust? How do you believe? But the bottom line is, and the point is, it is such a bigger story that's unfolding, whether some of it is true, a lot of it is true, we don't even know, but we're still in the story, unfortunately. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
And isn't that the same way with deaths that are related or not to COVID-19?
Absolutely. And there's also some sources tell us that even people who were hospitalized were incentive. There was an incentive from the remember that, Michael, the insurance companies, they were getting paid thousands of dollars for every person that's hospitalized. And the deaths also, some doctors are saying, if somebody comes in with a chronic, heart problem, and then they get COVID, you have to write COVID on the death certificate. But wait, if they didn't have this chronic, their whole life heart problem, then they probably wouldn't have died from COVID. So really, is the culprit COVID or is it the heart? I would say it's the heart, right? And so, but that's what I'm saying. And that's kind of, one of the, sometimes it's not even COVID. It's something vague. And their doctors are being told, doctors are being told that to write on the death certificate. So, again, I'm not even saying that. Just read the reports. Very legitimate sources tell us one thing, and then another legitimate source tells us something different. So who do you believe? So, but unfortunately, even though the good news is that this makes you question, this keeps you a skeptic, this keeps you wanting for you to know the truth as opposed to just believing this guy or this guy. So that's the positive. But the negative, the thing is, you're still part of the story. We're still part of the story. They're still telling us this is what needs to happen. These are the new laws and regulations, which I'm going to get to in a second, which is very interesting. But let's see what else. Michael, do you have any more questions? Yeah, somebody's mentioning they're getting $35,000 as an incentive for every hospitalized patient. This is insane. If I was I would never do that, but if I run, under the old paradigm system, the insurance companies, of course, will take the incentive and keep building on their, illusion of money and power building. And that's the way it goes on this planet, unfortunately. So, but again, the good news is that we're seeing that in our front, so bluntly. I'm not even making you don't have to, investigate and go deeper. It's like so clear. Politicians are coming out on television and telling us this thing, and then another one is telling us something different. So I'm loving this in a sense because, you don't have to be political yourself to side by this guy or that guy. When you're wanting to know the truth, it is extremely confusing and it's so in your face. There is no one truth. This is being manipulated. This is being orchestrated. There's an agenda. It is so clear. Again, this is not to say that there is no virus. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what they've done with the virus is an agenda. It's political. It's the economy, which is going to be the next wave, by the way. The next wave of revolution is going to be the economy. People are going to start revolting because of what COVID and everything else has done to their lives. And also, like, we're getting these incentive checks, like, oh, it's okay, we'll send you $1,200 or, $2,000 or whatever. But first of all, what does that do? If somebody lost their job, $1,200 is not going to do anything. But the second thing is we're printing these trillions and trillions of dollars, this fiat money that keeps being pumped into the system. Again, it's the old system keeps, trying to figure out how to resolve the old system using the old system, which who's going to pay for these trillions and trillions of money that's being printed? It just does not make any sense. That's the reason why this whole system needs to be redone, okay? So anyway, yeah, let's see. Another question, Michael?
We do have another question. It's related to superhuman, so I kind of wanted to save it and circle back to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, I did notice a couple of words behind you. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, go ahead. Which ones? The invisible made visible. Do you guys see it in here? Are these the words?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, everything starts energetically before it manifests in real, in the physical form. You have to have a thought before it manifests. You have to have an intention before it manifests. So in the film, we literally I mean, it's kind of a double, it's a little bit of a play on the words here as well, because we literally demonstrate how the consciousness, how the mind can actually affect matter. So for example, one of the example, I realize I have this in my frame as well. This is, so for example, we have a piece of paper. Can you move this piece of paper with your mind? So it's a physical object, and my mind, my consciousness is obviously invisible, right? I mean, you can't see my consciousness, you can see my physical body. And so, and because we know and we are told that the mind affects our health, affects our stress level. Yes, but I wanted to actually validate that concept, not just talk about it. I wanted to show it, demonstrate it, and also do scientific experiments. So we've done all kinds of experiments, but since this is sitting right here, it's just an example. Can the mind do that? And we've demonstrated in the film, we invite people who have never done this before. We train them for a couple hours. It's not really, I mean, we just kind of tell them what they can do. And all of a sudden, the object is rotating. Now, of course, the scientists chill, relax, relax, relax. I know you're going to say the temperature, the air molecule, blah, blah, blah. Well, in the film, we, again, bring up all of these components, and we do it scientifically, creating baselines. And we also do it under vacuum. So we understand the scientific concerns, and we address them in the film to the point where we demonstrate over and over and over that this is possible. Not only that so many people can do this. It's not just some group of kids that are super talented or, advanced. Everybody can do this. People from all over the world, all ages, all situations. And so the invisible, we also have folks, you've seen the trailer, that can see completely blindfolded. Again, for the scientists, don't worry, we check the masks, we measure the amount of light inside the mask, and those folks can literally do anything completely blindfolded. So go explain that. This tells you that consciousness can see, can touch, can know everything without the physical eyes. That is the invisible becoming visible. So it's mind-blowing. This film is like crazy, right, Michael? I mean, I don't think there's a film that has brought it to that level of validation, that consciousness supersedes what the brain thinks and does, and how it can control the physical world, right? Do you agree?
I agree, and it shows that the speed of light isn't necessarily the speed limit of the universe, that the speed of thought is instant, and it can go across the entire universe. That was my takeaway from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think everybody should, even if you saw the film, you need to see it again, because also it's packed with information. But it's the validation that is incredible in this film, the demonstrations, the science. And so that's the reason why, this is at a whole new level. I really would love everybody to support this, not because it's my film, because of the concept, because you all have been understanding the concept, and you're just like, well, am I getting guidance? Is it me? How did I know this to do this? All of this gets validated by, watching what happens in this film, and watching so many people demonstrate. You try playing ping pong blindfolded, or you try getting on a bicycle blindfolded. So it's pretty incredible. And so anyway, we got on this whole thing with the movie, but it's relevant because also the timing of the film, because of what's happening now more than ever before, we need to think about our powers, what we can do to control at least our immediate physical reality. That is why this film is extremely timely, because of this level of empowerment it brings.
Well, and it's not just the amazing feats that are happening in the movie, which are incredible. It's that there is quantifiable scientific validation happening. Things are being actually measured. It's not just woo-woo or magic.
Exactly. And again, I don't think any film has taken it to that level, also brought so many real examples, real life stories. So I'm very, very excited by this. Superhumanfilm.com. Go there now. Tell all your friends. Everybody needs to see this to at least be inspired to take back the control, especially now. And it's like what? It's like $20. And I think if you pre-order, you get a bonus package, right, Michael? I think it's like you get like some clips that are not published. So that's why pre-ordering is a great idea. Yeah.
That is correct. If you pre-order the film, you not only get a high def copy that's yours to keep, but there is additional bonus footage that's not available. And I just dropped the link in the chat.
Yeah, and also it's going to be worldwide, but the way the distributor does that is they release it on a bunch of platforms worldwide, and also there's subtitles. So if your native language is French or Dutch or whatever, you have subtitle Portuguese, you have the subtitles already. And then they kind of release it on different platforms because they have a whole like planning or something. So, but it will be worldwide as of July 14th, midnight. And make sure you go there. Okay,
correct.
cool.
Midnight, depending on your time zone.
Yeah, exactly. Just go to the website and you'll see information. And soon I will post the exact platforms where it will be released. And then, gradually, like I said, I think in 60 days or something, it gets released on other ones and so on and so forth.
And we're definitely going to release posts on all of Caroline's social channels talking about the film. But depending on where you are, if Amazon isn't available in your country, you can stream on Vimeo, which works in most markets where you can stream on demand. So this movie is going to be available on most video platforms. So whether you're on a console, whether you have a smart television, and really any device that you watch from, you're going to be able to watch Superhuman.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So are there any other questions? Otherwise, I'll just keep going a little bit.
I'm going to circle back to the question that was one of the first ones in chat. It was about the movie. So can you explain why something like bending a spoon or telekinesis, how is that relevant to people to help us get through these hard times?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, again, in the classes, we go through that because, again, it's very subtle, but even as a concept, the fact that your mind, it helps you bend a spoon, which you couldn't bend before, tells you, it's kind of like you get this like, oh my God, it's not just an idea. It's actually true that my mind can do that. So then when you're doing the exercise, that's why we're doing the classes, because when you're doing the exercise, you kind of figure out what your brain had to do, what your consciousness had to do to make the spoon bend. And so you take that away, and then, who cares about the spoon? You put the spoon to the side, but whatever just happened in your consciousness, then that you can apply it to your stomach ache or to anything else, because obviously your stomach has cells, they're physical, there's chemistry going on. You can then take that approach or that mechanism that you developed with the spoon to apply it on other things. But even as well, even in like, it doesn't have to be something physical. Like you understand what your consciousness, what you had to transcend or shift or get to do to manifest this positive result. And so you can do that, let's say, to create a new job, to create any kind of new thing that does not exist in your life. It's the mechanism that you gain, and that's why this is so valuable. Make sense?
Absolutely. Now, this is a slightly different subject, but I wanted to get back to this one. Sue wants to know, can you pick and choose the different online classes that you offer, or do you have to take all of the classes, such as how to meditate, number 1, 2, etc.?
Well, again, we put it on the website, the best order for you to progress. So for example, the first class that I recommend is the guidance system. Because once you develop the guidance system, then you can get into the healing or other kinds of things, because you've already established that strong base. So when you go to the website and you go to online classes, you will see the order in which, it is most recommended to take. Having said that, if you want to just adventure, it's totally fine, but it's just better because you get a strong base from the beginning. And then by the time you get to telekinesis or whatever, then you kind of already have done all of this legwork for you. So it's just like faster and easier.
And I put that link up in chat for everyone as well.
Yeah. So a lot of these classes were supposed to be live, but of course we had to change them because of what happened. So now they're online, and we're going to do our best to make it work. I think it'll be totally fine because I've done so many online classes. So I think these will be very, very cool. So again, for the times, just be patient with us. We may still change sometimes, but right now, it is what it is. So let's see if we can move things around. We'll let you know. All right.
And I'm guessing that you're focused on the film right now primarily, but Randall wants to know, are you currently working on a book or another film? And I wouldn't be surprised if you have something already going.
Actually, I started, I'm almost halfway through, if not, actually I'm more than halfway through in the book Superhuman. Because in the book, I talk about a lot of, again, not just the mechanism, but how it all works on, different examples we have done. So I'm working on the book, but that also got stopped because, we got distracted with all this COVID thing, and we had to kind of, from an administrative point of view, we had to kind of shuffle things around, move things around. Plus now the film's coming out. So I have not completed the film, the book that goes with the film, hopefully soon. But and that's going to be extremely helpful because like all the tools will be kind of there, so it's like it will be it's more of a manual. So it will be a very, very, very useful manual to keep handy for all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned for that. It was supposed to come out at the same time as the movie, but it is what it is. Things got a little bit shuffled around.
Well, hopefully that'll give everyone time to be able to watch the movie,
right,
and be able to rent it down the road as well. And it's going to be available on so many different platforms that hopefully by then they'll have it watched. And then the book will just complement that content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I highly recommend the book. It also gathers all kinds of tools, not just for mind over matter stuff, and it kind of puts it all in a very, very concise, very useful manual. So stay tuned for that. So, but in the meantime, there's the class. And like I said, if you cannot attend live, you can always, go back and get the archives and practice. And we're going to do forms. I'm going to create forms where, you can take the class, and then if you didn't do it live, then you can ask your question in a form and talk to other folks who have taken the course and things like that. It's just a lot of fun. In fact, we're going to do that also for the film because you'll see after you watch the film, so many questions, so many things on a personal level that came up for you, but also about some of the science in the film. So all kinds of stuff will come up. So we'll organize that forum for you so we can all meet and start, kind of talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, we have some really engaging and interactive ideas planned for that. We have several people in chat, Caroline, that would like to know about your fall classes that are scheduled in Utah. Do you know if those are still happening, or are they going to convert to something online?
Well, right now they're happening. I plan on having them. Utah is supposed to be one of the least touched, although now they're scaring us like, oh my God, the numbers are going out. I don't know. But I'm not concerned. I still want to go for it unless we have a government official forbidding us from doing that, which could happen. That's why we had to pull out of the LA one, because I was ready to go, but then the governor said no meetings, and then the mayor said that. So I just didn't want to like mess around, when the officials start telling us you can do this, it's a liability and it's just not worth the stress. So right now, yes, it is happening. I'm looking forward to it. And that location is incredible. It's like perfect for this kind of stuff, this kind of work, because it's very conducive. The alignment is great. It's just like fantastic. So yes, as of now, it's planned and it's happening.
So it's scheduled, guys. Unless something changes, then we'll let everyone know. And and then I'm going to circle back. Thanks, Catherine, for reminding me. I thought we were all caught up, but I had one more. And you've talked about this before in previous shows, but just in case for people that are new to the show or that may have missed that, Catherine has had an almost complete break with her family members. Their beliefs are now so separate and probably binary, just like maybe a few of all of us in chat. Should she just allow this to happen, or is this meant to be? Is this predetermined? What are your thoughts on these type of scenarios?
Yeah, again, it's case by case, but this time is to reset your whole life. Every area of your life is now, kind of you're starting with a clean slate. What should it look like? How do you want it to look like? What do you want to create? So having said that, there's not one size fits all, one answer for everyone. In your case, Catherine, as I'm kind of looking at your situation, I feel that was already kind of boiling under the surface, especially with the mother situation. So I feel like that is almost, it looks like something that's happening now, but this is something that she had been wanting to manifest for a long time. Don't forget, in any relationship, family or otherwise, it's a co-creation. Sometimes you think you are creating something, but it's also the other person that's wanting this. Don't forget that. It's a two-way street. And so because of that, I feel like this is something that the other party has been wanting for a long time. And hopefully this brings some sort of comfort, because we always kind of, think we think we're guilty, like, oh my God, is this the right decision? Am I going to regret this? And so then you torture yourself. But when you look at it in this way, thinking that person has been wanting this for a long time, then it starts to change your perspective, and you kind of like, you're more at peace with it. Let me know if this is helpful. Who is this, Catherine?
Correct.
Yeah. So let me know if this is helpful. And also what you do in the meantime, you can't work on a relationship without working on yourself. So in the relationship, I work on what's being triggered in me. And as this comes up for me in the relationship, you clear that in you. You can never clear something in someone else and expect them to behave the way you want them to behave. You can shift your own energy and consciousness, and by doing that, the other person shifts. So whatever is being triggered for you, I see a lot of rage, like a lot of anger, confusion, like frustration, like, that sort of feeling in you. So you should address that regardless of the relationship, and that should help you see more clearly. Let me know if this is helpful. Okay? So now this is going into the subject that we normally deal with on Wednesdays. So folks, if you're interested in talking more about those things, come on Wednesday. Otherwise, let me see, is there anything else going back to the crazy situation on planet Earth?
I think we finally got everybody caught up. I'm going to jump into the Facebook feed real quick, just in case.
While you're doing that, I just wanted to say also, what's happening is that the world is, we talked about this last time, is waking up, is revolting, is saying enough is enough. So it's not just the protest, but also you're going to see a lot of like legal action, like lawsuits, of people taking charge against the government and certain institutions, to actually demonstrate against, for example, effects of AI, all this whole manipulation and surveillance and all kinds of things that have been happening. So a lot of important individuals are taking legal action against governments and institutions to fix that, to address that. So it's not just the people in protest. Also in the healthcare, a lot of doctors, a lot of researchers are doing the same. What this means is that even though lawsuits take forever, we all know that, but this makes the government more accountable, and down the road, this becomes also part of the social unrest, because people are going to be wanting to speak up, and when somebody is having a class action lawsuit against an institution, you get even more empowered to tell your truth. So this is also part of the awakening, just for you to know there's all these things brewing, against government. And this is how eventually, way down the road, some institutions and government's factions and will start to collapse because of that. So all of these lawsuits that are being prepared are part of the awakening that will trigger more and more the people to continue to speak up and say enough is enough. So just FYI, if you weren't aware, this is happening as well. Okay? Questions?
One more from Facebook, and I know you've touched on this before, but Jody might be new to the chat. Do you see more division with family and friends during these times?
Yeah, again, it's case by case, but as you are resetting your boundaries in your new life, you are going to see differences. It doesn't have to be division. Sometimes it's getting closer with some folks and separating with others. So again, this is not a one answer for everyone. It's case by case. So it brings it back to you, what is being triggered, address that, and make a decision how you want your life to be and how you want to move forward in your family life and your relationships. Okay? All right, folks. So Wednesday for all the sessions that we're dealing with, keep focusing on all this empowering stuff that's coming up. CarolineCorey.com for all the classes and all the support stuff, YouTube Live, Wednesdays and Sundays, and superhumanfilm.com. And if I haven't said that yet, subscribe. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe to this channel. Costs you nothing, helps me out. Super easy. Click on the little logo or the button, subscribe. And I'll be dealing more with mental health issues next Wednesday, depression, confusion, suicide, all of this that a lot of people are going through, maybe not you, but maybe other people that you know. This is very important, very relevant, because what's happening messes with you. It just messes with you. It's just like, it's weird, okay? So a lot of people respond to this weird by being depressed, okay? So that's the reason why I'm doing that. Tell your friends there's help and support. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Michael, is there anything else? I think we covered it.
We got caught up at the very end.
Cool. Very good. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time and have a great day. Stay in your connection. Stay connected with the source. Also surround yourself also with source light. Always imagine and visualize yourself surrounded with this energy, not just to protect you, but also to keep you in this alignment so that no matter what happened, whatever you're observing, it's not affecting you, it's not breaking you down. Okay? Thanks so much and see you next time.